Solar and lunar eclipses in 2022 years. Solar and lunar eclipses have a major impact on the lives of people on Earth. So it makes sense to know in advance the eclipse schedule to adjust your plans and use the energy of the celestial bodies to your advantage. In the year 2022, there will be 2 partial solar eclipses and 2 total lunar eclipses. The first partial solar eclipse will occur on April 30 and will be visible from South America. The second partial solar eclipse will occur on October 25 and will be visible from Europe, Southwest Asia and Northeast Africa. The first total lunar eclipse will occur on May 16 and will be visible from southwestern Europe, southwestern Asia, Africa, North America and South America. The second total lunar eclipse will occur on November 8 and will be visible from Northeast Europe, Asia, Australia, North America and South America. The impact of the solar eclipse on life on Earth. A solar eclipse always occurs in the new moon phase. The greater the effect of a solar eclipse on humans, the more noticeable the eclipse. Many people at the time of the solar eclipse realize that they need more than what they currently have. A solar eclipse can draw our attention to the way we experience ourselves. Solar eclipses can bring new opportunities and beginnings into your life, so stay open to what will get in your way. You may find that there is a reward for hard work. Face everything that you consider an obstacle to the realization of your wishes and plans. Are there any obstacles in you? These obstacles can be your indecision and the fear that holds you back. Solar eclipses illuminate our destiny and karmic path and can be a bit dramatic. Astrologically speaking, they speed up time. While shifts may be inconsistent, they can help us accelerate the inevitable. While the results may be shocking, it should be borne in mind that eclipses simply accelerate inevitably, all of which would have happened anyway. During the eclipse there is a greater potential for misunderstanding, quarreling, impulsive reactions, uttering wrong words. To avoid this, it is recommended to stay at home with a series, movie or book. Do not force anything, do nothing by force. Just be careful and follow the signs, everything will show you what to do. This aspect motivates us to grow and change, and opens new vistas for us, so that things become clearer to us. From the point of view of health, this is not the best time. Chronic diseases are intensifying. And diseases of the cardiovascular system are also possible. During a solar eclipse, meteor-sensitive people may have high blood pressure, dizziness, and poor health. Nervous system disorders are also possible. During the eclipse of the sun, one should lead a peaceful lifestyle, not work excessively. Special attention should be paid to problem areas. Solar eclipses can have a devastating effect on nature, droughts, storms, hurricanes, floods, earthquakes and other disasters. In general, we can say that solar eclipses have a negative impact on nature and people, and especially on the psyche and health of people. Impact of lunar eclipse on life on Earth. Lunar eclipses always occur in the full moon phase. A lunar eclipse brings logical inference and climax, or best results. The greater the effect of a lunar eclipse on humans, the more noticeable the eclipse. During a lunar eclipse, don't plan anything big and don't make important decisions. During the eclipse, clean the house, get rid of old things. This applies to the apartment, to the workspace, and to relationships, thoughts, emotions. In all areas of life. This will make room for something new that will enter your life after the eclipse. Don't try to keep what leaves your life. Don't be discouraged by losses. It only goes away unnecessarily. What no longer serves you and what prevents you from progressing. People suffering from cardiovascular diseases on this day should limit physical activity. Not to exert themselves physically and to avoid stress. It is better to take a light walk in the park and breathe fresh air. Healthy people may feel weak and tired. Therefore, during the lunar eclipse period, one should rest and prepare for new tasks. You can react aggressively to something that is not typical for you at all. For example, even something insignificant will cause your irritability. Try to control your thoughts, actions and reactions, because communication problems are possible. Certain people will be more creative than usual, will have more interesting ideas and will worry less about small details. A lunar eclipse is a good time to finish those things that you started before, but you delayed, avoided, and delayed their completion. The lunar eclipse is a great time to work on yourself. To strengthen wisdom and intuition, to give up all bad habits. Lunar eclipses illuminate our destiny and karmic path and can be a bit dramatic. Astrologically speaking, they speed up time. While shifts may be inconsistent, they can help us accelerate the inevitable. While the results may be shocking, it should be borne in mind that eclipses simply accelerate inevitably. All of which would have happened anyway. The moon is a symbol of the inner world of feelings, of what is hidden, of what moves us from the depths of our being. It is a moment when feelings are extremely strong and ready to come to the surface. Moon phases and their impact on life on Earth. The moon goes through 4 basic phases, or as we usually call them, lunar changes. The first change is called the new moon or new moon. The second shift is called the first quarter. The third change is called a full moon or a full moon. The fourth shift is called the last quarter. Each lunar change lasts about 7 days and 9 hours, or the whole cycle lasts about 29.5 days. When the moon is near the sun in its orbit, it can no longer be seen and is then called the young moon. It is possible to see it the following evenings after sunset, like a thin sickle in the sky. Over the next 7 days and 9 hours, the moon gradually comes to a position where it can be seen at right angles to the sun. Then the right half of the moon is illuminated, because it is facing the sun on that side. This lunar change is called the first quarter. After that, the illuminated side of the moon increases every day until it finds itself on the opposite side of the sun. When 14 days and 18 hours have passed since the new moon, the fully illuminated side is facing the Earth, and this phenomenon is called the full moon. Then the illuminated side gradually decreases and the sun is on the left side, and when it is reduced by exactly half, it is the last phase called the last quarter. The growth phases of the moon, from the new moon to the full moon, are best used for planning and starting some new projects, and they are also great for solving unhealthy habits and cleansing the body. The new moon is conducive to starting new projects and raising our awareness. With the help of the table containing the changes of the moon, you can determine when the new moon is coming and when you can start an action that will have a positive outcome. The time of the new moon is the moment of harvest of all that we have sown. This is a moment that should be used to attract everything we need with the energy we have. When the moon is waning, from the full moon to the last quarter, relaxation and rest are recommended. Also, recovery from any physical or mental trauma is faster. The full moon is a good time to reach the maximum in all the areas in which we have worked. Explanation of the empire of the Sun and the Moon. As is well known, the Earth revolves around the Sun and the Moon revolves around the Earth. A solar eclipse occurs when the Moon is between the Sun and the Earth, causing the Moon's shadow to fall to the ground and obscure the Sun to observers on the Earth. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon so that the shadow of our planet covers the Moon. During a total eclipse, the Moon never falls into complete darkness, but takes on a reddish-brown hue. This phenomenon occurs due to the refraction of light in the Earth's atmosphere, which in this case acts like a prism. Some years can pass without a single lunar eclipse, and some years can be as many as 3 lunar eclipses. At least 2 solar eclipses occur annually. The total number of solar and lunar eclipses per year cannot be less than 2 and greater than 7. The Moon is the closest celestial body to the Earth and the only natural satellite of the Earth. That is, only the Moon revolves around the Earth. The Moon makes a full circle around the Earth in about 30 days. Due to the gravitational influence of the Earth on the Moon and the Moon on the Earth, a balance has been reached in which the Moon revolves around its axis for the same time it orbits the Earth. That is why the same side of the Moon is always visible from the Earth. This, however, does not mean that the other side of the Moon is dark. The Sun shines on it, only we don't see it from the Earth. The Moon does not create its own light. And yet it is the brightest celestial body in the sky after the Sun. This is because the Moon reflects the sunlight that illuminates it. The attractive forces of the Moon and the Sun cause tides on the Earth, i.e. tides.